talk about the circle of life if you're the guy eating everyone else.
I apologize to all our Swahili friends.
We could have Swahili fans.
We
We
do.
could.
We have a few. There is a few scattered viewers on the African continent, and we love everyone.
How they got there, we don't know,
I
but
That's pretty
I mean,
cool.
you're pretty sure we kind of started out there, you know, as a species. We kind of started out there,
Mhm.
it's
and then
true.
we moved around a lot.
Yeah, like there's too many parasites here. I think the North Pole will be
Mhm.
better. Everything
And then
considered.
we came here. It was summer. It was warm and sunny, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is great." We burned the boats, and then winter came, and we're like, "Oh, fuck!"
And then we married a lot of Neanderthals because they had like thick fur,
Hmm.
and we wanted some of that. Not
I feel like this is yet another tangent, but I can't tell anymore at this point.
Let me tell you about human evolution. No. I've been eating too much today. Why don't you do a recap sheet?
Why don't you do a recap for me?
Because you were the one who wanted to not talk about science.
But that's not at all what I said. In all honesty, I prefer it when one of you does the recap, because then I can compare what I thought of the last session to what you actually experienced or what you still remember.
Hmm.
It's kind of a way for me
All
to
right.
get
All right,
sneaky
fine.
feedback.
Fine. Last time we went to look for the temple of the gold dragons, like dad, I think, granddad, dad, granddad. It was a very, very famous and important dragon in his time, who many people came and seeking information from. We had some preliminary information, and using it and spending a lot of time just thinking about how to damn well do it, we ended up flying across the side of the ridges and simply seeing a door, sort of an entranceway there, which was very convenient. So we entered there and met a ghost who was like, "Oh, I'm very sorry. I built constructs to kill everyone, but they seem to be malfunctioning and killing everyone, even though I tell them not to. So, just hold on. I'll fix them in like 1,000 years." And he's like, "Well, we kind of want to get in here." And he was like, "Well, we're gonna have to kill him then. I'm okay with it. I'm sure I could fix them one day."
It was very pragmatic, you know. It was very like, yeah, sure.
I generally wouldn't want you colors to come in here, but it's not like I've had any visitors for like 1,000 years. So, go ahead. And so we went in and we destroyed the constructs, and we continued in and destroyed some more constructs. And then there were like flails, snails, and all these monsters in there, and it was all horribly corrupted in some weird way. Like dark energies were in that place, a residue of what has happened there. So you go down, we find the gold dragon's excuse me, gold dragon's lair, and there is no skeleton. We were very sad there's no skeleton because that means he's out there somewhere. Probably masquerading as his own great grandson. It's terrible. And so we went and, you know, checked out his place, basically, after another fight with inhabitants, and found that there was a secret back entrance, so to speak, in his treasury, which was almost empty. Only like a pittance of money in there, almost nothing. We were disappointed. But at least we found the remains of the black dragon orb that had been smashed. So something came in there and either took it with them and smashed it in there, or destroyed it after finding it in there. Or it somehow just randomly splintered. But at least it was oozing black dark energy everywhere, which was really not something dragons like, because it's like evil control dragon power. And well, with that triumph, we went home and learned that there was a dragon who had come and harassed our people about talking to them and sending representatives to talk to him, about rogue dragons. I think we decided that we would probably want to go talk to him about that. So, maybe kill him. So yeah, I think. Did I miss anything important?
We did take a week's worth of downtime after
Yeah, we
that,
did. Certainly did.
which means it is now the 6th of Gosren. According to the report, you said the dragon who is holding some of your people hostage would like to meet with some of the leaders in the within 2 weeks, meaning you'd have another week.
Kind of secretly sad it's not the old guy he captured. Tanroth. If you had captured Tanroth, that would be...
What about the dragon that wanted to meet us?
Yeah, he's the dick. Because he's holding our people captive and threatening to kill them if we don't go talk to him.
Oh, I didn't know he was threatening anyone. Who has he of mine he is gonna kill? Sheep.
Kobold babies.
Who does he have that Einervox care about?
Well, the people that he has hostage is essentially just a patrol.
What a noob!
You know, it's Tandalin. He can't, like... This is his first time
He
holding
really
anyone
need-
hostage.
He really needs
He's
to learn.
going to die.
No!
Die so hard.
No, we're not gonna kill
Turn into a
Tandalin.
zombie.
Absolutely not.
Be wielded upon our banner.
You
Let's
have
go
that
meet him.
copper, like, bronze thing we killed to turn to a zombie.
I
What
don't
is
see
that?
him anywhere, do you?
Well, you
Yeah,
turned into
where
a
is
zombie
he?
and stuffed him in the cave.
Where did he go?
I heard the rituals.
He went places.
Uh-huh.
You
I like the idea of
witness.
killing Tandalin.
Yeah, screw him, right, Whitey?
That's racist.
On the one hand, I agree with you. On the other hand, you just called me Whitey.
I mean, it's, it's a compliment, isn't it? How would you see that as a potential insult? To me, it's a compliment,
Hashtag white privilege.
basically.
But seriously, where's that dragon we killed?
It's a zombie.
Seriously?
There was no meat on that.
It's a bloody
Where is
skeleton
it?
then.
It's in the water hole.
Can't
You
fly
turned
anymore.
into a zombie?
No, I mean, it's just it was just sitting there.
So what's it doing now?
I already have a dragon corpse.
It's sitting someplace else.
I already have a dragon corpse and a plant corpse. You can't all have all the people.
But I can control, like, I mean, if he's a little dragon,
No, it's
no,
Tandalin.
if he's just small enough,
Tandalin is adorable and we all
I
love
never
him.
get to have anything.
I
You
know.
have a cave full of monster plants and dragon zombies.
I know, it's amazing.
Well, shall we go and see what he says?
I guess.
Because no one's gonna kill him.
I mean, we're gonna fight him anyway,
No,
right?
Yeah, we are probably gonna fight him.
Because
well,
we can't
I
have him,
mean-
like,
beat him into submission.
Tell-
Yeah,
Telling
yeah,
the
we're gonna
people.
beat him into submission, hog tie him, and stuff him in a, in a
do
hole
our people
somewhere.
have one of those, like, stone prisons like they had in the sun camp?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you do, yeah.
Collar on.
They do?
There's one right in the corner here.
Spikes.
Oh, could they, like, oh, yeah, there we go.
All right,
Can
good.
that hold him, do you think?
Probably.
I mean, if we have the brawlers tie him up, they were very good at that.
I don't
Like
think we
hot
need
tie his
to.
mouth.
I don't
like,
think we need to sort of tie him up. Really, I think he's so derpy he won't even try to leave if we just.
Or we
you know-
leave, and then he's like, "Oh, you should know something about these dragons. They're really not like powerful at all. They were just tiny little baby dragons. They can't do shit anyway." And then people are like, "Wait,
You
what?"
think he would say that?
Totally say that. He's an asshole. Well, not because he would be mean, just because he'd be too stupid to know when to
Oh
stop.
my god, my perch stone is too little now.
I'm
We can
sorry.
have them pull out a bigger stone. I mean,
Anyway, shall we go?
Hashtag dragon problems.
sure.
Yeah, during the
Avendra, for a dragon battle, you might want to stay here and take care of things.
if she can take care of the wyvern training, as she is one of the few people in the camp who actually speaks Draconic.
Yes.
Well done.
Wonderful. But
Septina
first,
being another one,
let's
I think.
mage armor everybody.
Yes, please.
Woo, Mage
Yeah,
Armor.
I am going to assume that you cast that just before you arrive, because it is some distance away.
Sure.
Half a day's worth of travel, essentially.
Why would he stay so far away? Just to make it inconvenient on us? What a jerk.
No, we like
Yeah.
found like a nice place with some shade in it or something.
Yeah,
Tell
that
people how to.
oasis or something like that.
It's like, oh, I think he actually was. At
You know,
one of the
maybe he
oases.
couldn't find anyone else but those people. He's like, God damn, they're so far away. But
Maybe he was like, I'm not going to go close to this place where bigger dragons than me have been killed.
so,
At least the vet taught me how to fight.
do we get anything else but mage armor?
Well, I mean, if we're going close anyway, but I could do Shields of Faith if you want.
Please.
All right.
Thank.
I'll take Shields of Faith.
Yeah, before
Nobody-
you leave, Chieftain Farnek, also
Uh-oh.
known as the General, would approach you and saying that, "Oh, great ones, it is a terrible thing that he would like to ask for yet another request, but you know, if you manage to capture that dragon that is holding our people hostage, that would be quite the great thing.
That's kind of the plan.
Oh, that's why
how
we
so?
should care.
Well, currently, my plans for the war and all are mostly based on assumptions, as there haven't been too many sources of proper information, and while I'm rather certain that my plans will in fact work and bring us victory, making sure is always a good thing.
Boy, do we have a treat for you. He's gonna
We need
talk your
a-
ear off.
Basically, tell everything. All right, yeah. Let's hope it's Tandalin then.
Yeah.
It's like the mute dragon of the rocks.
it's a stone dragon. It's just,
I am a crystal. It's a crystal dragon. I am just so fabulous.
he just shimmers, like you just hear like sparkly sounds.
Bling, look at me. Or fairy dragon.
Yes.
It's fairy dragon.
Quickly tweet under the hashtag #SaveTandalin.
There's only gonna be one, and that's Tandalin.
It's gonna be one tweet.
Well, you know, I
think
guess
I
we can
should-
build a dragon extraction machine, which is like a
Oh,
What?
and he made a fake
dragon,
account.
dragon information extraction machine.
He made a fake
What?
account where his
It
only
is
friend
like a
is
fruit
Tandalin.
press, but for dragons.
Oh, okay.
Ah, that's gross.
Press for dragons.
Let's go
We
find-
want your information.
Let's go capture
Strap him up
Yeah, can we go before any more else comes?
in the... such hilariousness.
No,
Don't you agree? Slaps Arvolix on the shoulder.
you probably shouldn't slap him.
You know, the problem with Tandalin is that he's social, but he's also really dumb.
I know.
So,
He's great.
so it's really putting a bad vibe on social dragons.
I love him so much, though. He's so cuddly.
Well, if you
Yes.
want to head out, you will be informed that the location where your people are being held would be right here, which is exactly a day's worth of travel from your current location.
So that's just in the middle of the desert.
There is an oasis there, a small one that isn't used too much, but
Like a
essentially,
pirate.
yeah.
What?
So do we bring like a wrangler guy who can time up?
Do you think that's
I mean, Jonas does have a
necessary?
saddle.
No, he has buried it. I have a saddle,
No, Jonas also has a saddle.
but he just said that I can borrow my saddle in money. That's why
Yeah,
he
I'm
wanted.
pretty sure Terexus has his saddle in his horde in his new temple now.
Yeah. I know it's the only one who doesn't have a haven. Does Olronix have a haven?
No.
You're not ready to move out either?
There's no cold place around here.
I know! It's bullshit! Where's Skyrim? You know?
It's to the north, but there people kill dragons to prove their manhood.
I know this quite well. I came from that land of the Inno Kings. I know what it's like.
What's... You know, Inovex wants to live somewhere like Solitude, where there's a little snow and still forest. Perfect. Norway. Let's
Any,
go to
like,
Norway.
Pine trees, but that's not really around here.
What are we
Scalding desert.
even doing here? This
But some of
place-
Sun has mountains. Look, I mean, over here maybe? That's tall mountains.
I'm not looking at the map.
Okay, well here there's like tall mountains.
Ah, it's still very close to the desert. I don't like that.
Oh well.
I'd rather it like, you know...
I mean, you have to move very far
Yeah,
away.
yeah, like this over here.
Like
Alright,
maybe
I mean,
here might be a good spot for you, like where the mountains and the forest collide with the
Yeah,
water.
water.
yeah, that island.
Yeah.
Aina Island.
Aina Island, if this kind of thing.
Ein Island, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure, that can be.
Sure. I would say
There
why
is
not.
my haven.
Okay.
I'm
This
okay
is-
with it.
That would
won't
just leave me with
contest
finding a sufficiently cold winter wonderland.
I mean, you know,
Which
Here.
will probably be in a mountain.
yeah,
which I'm
like
okay with.
here. You know, guys, we should all pick up that draconic like long distance call ability, so we could like scream to each other.
It's like a message.
Assemble!
It's like a
Boost!
message spell that spends your
Oh,
defense
oops.
it's pretty good.
But it's great. Like we shout things at each other, or we
Oh,
can
I'm
also
leaving.
like we should
Oh,
also
you're all
like
leaving.
we should also maybe crystal balls. Is that a thing that could use for long range communication?
Yes.
You can scry one another and then talk.
I'll
There's
just
also
have
crystal
ball.
Or telepathy, which lets you do it directly.
Which, something that might have gotten lost over time is that Moonhide actually gave you devices for long distance
Yeah,
communication.
he
So
did.
we
He
do
gave,
have
he gave
those
us.
walkie-talkies.
What?
It's true. We have communication stones, which are in inventories.
We do?
I think there were 5 of them, right?
Since when?
Didn't we give them back?
He gave them to us ages ago. They
Yeah,
should
we
sit in
gave
my
them
character
back
sheet,
for
like no
them
one's
to
touched
talk
them.
to one another while doing
How-
some sort of mission. I don't remember what, but
How do they work?
you talk. You, as far as I remember, you speak to the stone, thinking of the person you want to talk to, who also has one, and then it's like a walkie-talkie.
Oh,
Yep. That's
That's so
essentially how they
useful.
work.
Oh,
Practice,
Moonhide! I'm
certain
so
stones.
sorry. I'm so sorry, buddy.
We're all sorry. This is ridiculous. We should just have killed the one with the Will the Beast or something like that. That
Yep.
Moonhide. But then Rechax wouldn't have his sweet.
Wait, what with the will to? You know me.
See what your mad ambitions has wrought, Rakayax.
I know, but you said it would give me great power to do it. You told me to. You got into this.
You bullied me
Me?
into it.
I did nothing of the
You made
sort.
me kill him. Well, you made me make another dragon kill him.
Yeah. Oh my,
My
god.
business.
What have we become?
Yeah, I know, we're
Tell me
monsters.
to do will give me wealth and power.
Horrible
then I will have to
monsters.
do it. Oh,
can't-
I
we-
will set rules
we
to
can't
make
Proceed
myself
without like a psychiatry session.
Would be approaching evening as you then arrive at the location specified, casting your spells just before approaching. And this is essentially what you see. You are not as close as you currently appear.
Look at him!
Oh, he's so screwed. Look at those archers keeping and spear fighters keeping.
At least they have horses.
Are they like bound or something?
They
Is
do
he
not.
dancing there in this like?
They do not appear to be bound. They appear to be currently observing Tandalin with barely concealed hostility, while he seems to be talking a whole lot.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing.
So there I was, right? And
Yeah.
So
That's
we're
all.
gonna bring him home. Yeah.
yeah, we are.
Oh, all right.
We sweep in.
Do we just attack?
No, we land and talk to him. Maybe he'll come along without having to fight.
Oh, it's just as big as him now.
We are.
Yeah, as you approach, Tandalin does stand up rather rapidly, obviously not entirely surprised, but certainly taken off guard, as he looks at you somewhat flustered and says, "Oh, well, greetings, you. I am Tandalin. I did not expect... Well, I did not expect the subject of the potential talks to actually show up here." Takes a step back.
Traxxas looks at him. And why not, Tandalin?
Well, my original purpose here was to speak to the leaders of the Moon Clan about potential rogue dragons who have been doing bad things to them. And since they are helping me, who is, well, not me, but Arestrix, who I am representing, it would be, well, we were going to find a solution.
So you are speaking to the leaders of the Moon Clan, and you say that there are other dragons harassing us. Yes.
It's not impossible, I suppose. But if you're also the leader, oh, well, that's interesting, to say the least. You look very familiar, by the way. I think I've seen a group just like you, except a lot smaller. Some months ago, down in the lowlands. Strange coincidences.
Yes, very. Looking at him. So you wanted to find a solution. What solution might that have been?
The potential suggestion would be that in exchange for the usual tribute, that Orestrix might send some of his followers over to make sure that these rogue dragons would no longer plague everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They've done quite some bad things, you know.
Like what?
Sort of bad things?
Well, most things are just theories at the moment, but one of Orestrix's most loyal followers has been missing for quite some time now, and considering that the Orok herds that he was supposed to bring back are not yet back. It is worth assuming that he was stopped in some way or another. Of
Why
course,
would you think dragons would have done that? It could have been anyone.
I knew him. He wouldn't have been stopped by anything in this desert.
Kayak says as the skeleton rises from the depths.
But surely that wasn't you, and you're just here to represent the Moon Clan, and you know more about these rogue dragons who are a plague to all of us, yes?
How do we play this?
You should. These are indeed very interesting suggestions you present, Tandalin. Might we invite you back to our base camp to further discuss this? This oasis is pitifully small and cannot appropriately accommodate dragons of our importance and stature. We would provide food and shelter.
It may be pitifully small, as you say, but it is also a rather neutral location.
Why would you have anything to fear from the Moon Clan if you came here to help them?
Well, I have nothing to fear from the Moon Clan, of course, but they might not appreciate my presence as too many, I suppose, represent something that has been oppressing them for quite a few years now.
Oh, we would safeguard your person, Tandalin. No harm would come to you. Maybe an arrow would be fired, but that would be nothing for you to deflect with your mighty scales, no doubt. We can guarantee that you will definitely be alive in our camp.
Well, perhaps a counter-offer then, as you are trying to find a location that is appropriate for dragons. Might I suggest the area that Orestrix is currently preparing for the festival that will soon happen? It has plenty of accommodations and more than plenty of food.
But that is still months and months away, yes? Isn't this matter
The
more
festival,
pressing?
yes, but the area is always prepared for potential visitors.
Glances over to the others.
I just frowns.
Einar's frowns. And if you could read her mind, it would be that is no neutral ground, you idiot.
Yeah. We're kind of just thinking about how to break to Tandalin that Arastrix is like
It's a horrible
undead
undead
lich thing.
That doesn't seem to be very neutral ground. If there is some sort of antagonism between our Moon Clan and our Asterix, showing up at his doorstep seems ill-advised.
Well, I am merely representing him, so if you were to go to him, then there would be no need for a middleman, at least.
Besides, we have heard that chromatics are sent to the red instead, and that he is a much more of a bully of a leader.
The Sakura can be quite impulsive at times, yes, but any visitor arriving at Sunta's court, or I guess Orestrix's rival area, they would be considered visitors, and visitors are always under Orestrix's care. And he is quite the dragon, I tell you. You would like talking to him.
Didn't he have a very famous grandfather or something, Tandalin?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
You don't know anything about that?
Well, I've heard the name, and I've heard the rumors about him that he was a grand dragon indeed. Something that even Orestrix is having difficulties coming anywhere close to, but he tries. Although it is not a rumor but fact that his grandfather is, well, dead and has been so for quite a few centuries, so...
Although
That's why he's feeling so emasculated, because people used to say he was so awesome, and now everyone's like, yeah, you're not as good as the legend.
Exactly. It's like, oh,
He's
it's
like,
true.
but I'm him though.
But I'm an undead monstrosity.
Although Tandalin, we noticed something interesting. We found a dead dragon stripped completely from the bone. Could he have been attacked by one of the rogue dragons, you think?
A dead dragon?
Yeah.
What kind of dragon was he?
I think he was copper.
Well...
He still had a lot of resources on him, but he was just been stripped to the bone.
Oh my, I think I know who that was. But
Big worms was there.
Yeah, he was covered with
Maggots.
worms. Maggots, yeah.
that must have been the rogue dragons. That must have been if he was at Sunda's court just a few months ago.
Diary said that the things began happening to him after he drank a potion that Arestrix had given him to help him with the journey. Although Arestrix before that was very unhappy with him leaving at all.
We thought it sounded rather mysterious. Why would Arestrix do such a thing? The coincidence? I think not.
So we went and looked for Arestrix's grandfather's house, the one that Arestrix had forbidden the copper dragon from going to. And we found something very interesting there.
What did you find?
Tyraxo smiles. We found nothing. No corpse, no bones, nothing. Wasn't even
Except
any
for a
treasure left.
Smashed dragon orb. And dark fell energies of necromancy all over the place.
And even more of the same maggots we found on the copper dragon.
It would seem that Arestrix is somehow connected to, well, the bones of his dead grandfather disappearing, and that he is, well, willing to murder his own friends to make them not find out about it.
The connection.
No, your connections are completely absurd. You see, the potions that Arestrix must have given If were a gift from someone else, from a black dragon. I can only assume that they were an attempt at Orestrix's life, but since Orestrix then gave the potions to If, well, that was unfortunate. And I do have to admit that I have heard rumors that Orestrix's grandfather was indeed one of the wardens, you know. Rumors say that he was protecting the Black Orb of Dragonkind, so finding that there isn't completely absurd either. But I do not know if his bones are missing, then someone else must have taken them.
It sounds like something Arestrix would want you to believe. Why not frame a chronomatic dragon? He looks to his friends. Surely no one would ever believe that they would do anything good to anyone.
The caretaker of the old temple also told us that he has been ever vigilant even since the temple fell into ruin, and he has seen nothing come and go in the temple in all those thousands of years he has been there. No great dragon coming, no great dragon going, but the bones are gone. Most likely left from the back entrance in which the secret compartment where the black dragon orb was once stored. And who else would have known about that secret compartment if not the grandfather himself?
Few, if any, even knew of the place's location or existence. We were lucky to find it.
The place's existence is perhaps not widely known, but it is a rumor that most, at least, assume is somewhat true, so it is not completely far-fetched that someone might have been very interested in the place, especially if he also considered the rumors about Orestrix's grandfather to have protected the Black Orb as well. So clearly, if there was a secret entrance, then someone else might have found it. Surely you don't assume
hoops, Tandalin, and you know that.
But you
I
are
know
suggesting...
it is rattling, but just give it a moment of thought, just a single moment, and say that the facts do not point to one very obvious truth.
He pauses. But you are suggesting that Orestrix then is something that he is not who he seems to be.
Yes.
But that's impossible. I have known him for years now, and yet, I would have noticed.
And yet you came to this conclusion all by yourself without us saying anything about that being our conclusion as well. Beyond that, Orestrix is powerful. This would mean that perhaps he is the old grandfather who has simply obfuscated himself being some amalgamation of what should not be. He would undoubtedly have the power to, well, appear as something he's not if he was going to do this sort of thing. Have you actually seen any of the Eastern Dragons attack? Or was that just something he said?
I have seen one.
One?
Yes. It is not a moment I will forget, but it is proof enough that what Orastrix is saying is happening is in fact happening.
Or maybe he made it look like it was. Do
Or
not
maybe,
underestimate the power of an old gold dragon. Even if he has become corrupted in some way.
but I would have noticed.
Paxov nods and looks like a brotherly smile and says, don't. If no one else would have noticed Tedlin, it's only with this information. I'm sure he has, well, lied to dragons who are much more powerful than us. We would not have known if we had met him either.
But it makes no sense. Why would he do what he is doing then? Why would he try to sway the other dragons to actually defend themselves from a threat that is most definitely real, I can assure you? And why would he? No.
He wants to start a war, Tandalin. If this Eastern Dragon invasion is a thing, and you say you saw one does not make an invasion, really, does it?
They might be thinking that we are invading because we are building up, making them do the same thing to protect themselves. A mobilization of both sides.
And
Why would he do this?
And the Black Dragon Orb is destroyed. Inside the vault are still the corrupted and shard remains of that explosion.
Answer me that then. What happened to the bronze dragon, Ekalinus? I don't believe your words, and I do believe that there might not actually be other rogue dragons here. You just want to drive a wedge between me and Orastrix.
Draxos looks at him, shrugs and says, "We killed him. He was stealing the aurochs that we had fought to bring back to our clan, back to these lands.
He refused to listen to reason,
We tried
even
to
though
talk
we
to
told
him.
him everything we knew.
He would have shared them openly if you had come here to Sunda's court. They were meant for visitors.
Draxos sighs, "If we go to Sunda's court, Tandalin, we will befall the same fate as happened to your copper friend, dead in the desert filled with worms. Brought upon..."
We've seen it. We've read the book.
Sure, we can even toss him the book. I can read through it if he wants.
I have seen many dragons come and go without losing their lives, as you suggest.
But have you seen any dragon come and go without swearing fealty to either Orastrix or Sunta?
Some say that they need more time to consider, and Orastrix lets them leave.
Have you seen them since?
Surely they would return to the next festival.
Perhaps.
You could still come with me. You could still talk to Orastrix at least. He wouldn't just outright do anything. There's still other dragons around who would take offense to that, and if he was indeed as you suggest, then you wouldn't be alone in opposing him. But I think you're wrong.
And end up like your copper friend? I think not.
Poor Tandalin, his delusions. The first part is acceptance, Tandalin. You need to get through these things. Next you will be angry, and then you will be sad. It is only natural. It will take time to understand. We will help you, however. Remind you of the facts, so you do not forget them.
No, you have to come to Sunda's court.
That sounds like the voice of someone who is not entirely in control of themselves, Tandalin. Have to is not something dragons do.
Especially at the behest of someone like Sunta. who only is alive because she has managed to get her filthy hands on one of the artifacts.
And
The
using them
tears of
to
the mother.
force her will upon our kind, enslaving them.
What do you think would happen to her if that orb was gone from her possession? What do you think Vesekarak would do?
Well, Fasekarak would be angry, of course, but that's besides the point. You have to talk to Orestrex. He will.
Bewitch us, I'm sure.
But think, just your conclusions are as far-fetched as you suggest mine are. What if there's a threat and you're working against the only dragon who's willing to do something against it?
We are willing to do something against it. He should follow us. But I doubt he will do that, because he is too proud to allow anyone else to.
Why would he follow those who kill because of unwillingness to listen?
Tyraxus snorts. Are you suggesting that the great Orestrix has never killed? Don't be absurd.
We have good proof to the contrary.
How many, like Tyraxus motions towards the Shuanti, how many of these creatures have died out of the sheer negligence of Orestrix or his mad visions?
A civilization of innocents almost wiped out entirely. It's only because of us they have survived in the state that they have. We saved them. He doomed them to die. Why? So he could have his grab at power.
Tyraxus looks at Tandalin.
They live off of the oryx that he would take, so let them starve. Them and their children.
But
How many
if Orestrix-
Aurochs? How many Aurochs has he devoured himself out of just sheer gluttony?
How many people could have lived for that? Could have not starved in the desert alone? Why start a war with the sun against the moon?
But that wasn't Orestrix's decision, that was Sunta. And Orestrix needs Sunta because she is one of the ops. He can't let that one go. Because, well, it is the only way to find the others. And
It is the end that justifies the means, then. That sounds like something my dear brothers here would be accused for more often than a gold dragon,
he
doesn't
wouldn't have to do these things if the other dragons weren't so stubborn as to understand that something evil is coming and that we need to stand together to fight it.
How do
You're
we
on
know?
the wrong side, Tandalin.
How do we know this is coming? Just the delusional ramblings of Orestrix. Oh, the great golds have the gift of clairvoyance and foresight.
Illusions.
Tyraxus snorts. You cannot see the future. It is in constant motion. It is in flux. We are not bound by fate. We make it.
The only thing you are making is making sure that Orestrix fails, and I cannot let that happen. And I suggest that you at least talk to him before you make your final decision. No, I know what's going to happen next. Yeah, it's you probably do the same thing that you want to do to that you did to Acalinus to me because I'm disagreeing with you, and apparently that's
No,
You can't
Tandalin,
stand
we'll invite
other-
you home to us. Just stay for a little while and at least talk a little more to us before you make your final decision. We sadly cannot let you just leave and make sure that our plans fail completely, like you would not want us to leave and make sure that your friends' plans fail completely. The difference is that we know that we are right. You simply push it off to someone else.
I think he's right.
For now, I'm sure we can convince you in time.
I cannot go with you. I still strongly suggest that that you come with me, and perhaps if you don't want to talk to Orestrix, you could talk to Fesekarak. He would know that you are visitors and that you are not the subjects he would
Tandalin?
normally.
We did speak to Thesekarak, and he was the one who gave us the idea that there was something wrong with the Gold Dragon. He said to go here to the Moon Clan, to help them, to find the answers in the sand. And we have done that, and we understand. He had a feeling that something was wrong because he was too powerful to be completely fooled by the illusions of one even as great as Arestrix.
Indeed, Restrix needs Sunta, but not to find the other orbs, but to keep his secret. She controls Fesekarak.
He
As
cannot
long as she
directly
does.
work against him. If he could, he would.
Are you then the ones who came to Fesekarak a few months ago?
Yes,
Yes, we are.
But
I
you were
thought
so
we were
small
friends,
back then.
Tandalin.
We grow quickly, it seems.
A righteous cause is healthy for body and soul.
It is. Doesn't it make sense then? Doesn't everything just suddenly make sense? I mean, think about it. Fesekarak told you that Orestrix is doing those things, and of course he'd be grumpy and trying to find a way to wiggle out of his responsibilities. And think about your growth. Something must be causing that, yes? Surely you might be chosen ones.
Tyranno
Exactly.
snorts.
Exactly, Tandalin.
Chosen by Apsu to show the other metallic dragons how
The
stubborn
right
they are.
way. Yes. We will
What?
show them the right way. And we will begin with you, Tandalin. We've chosen you to start because we learned you talk with you back then, and we understand how willing you are to fight for the right cause.
But you need to lead by showing the others what's right, and what's right is to talk to our Restrix.
What's right is to oppose the evil that is rising, and unite the dragons to fight Orexus' evil plan for war. War can be avoided, Tandalin. Is that not the better way instead of fighting? Come with us.
I
We will show you.
no. Oh, you have to show the others that Orestrix is right.
But we have to begin with you, Tandalin.
But I know that Orestrix is right.
That
Then
sounds
why
like...
is there any fear in coming with us?
That sounds like religious zeal more than conviction to me. You keep claiming that he is right, but have offered no explanation as to why.
I mean, why else would he? We are talking in circles at this point.
Your argument seems to me to be that why would Arastrix do something bad because he is Arastrix? Isn't that a circular argument? We are using arguments made from the information and the secrets we have unearthed. You seem to rely on him simply because he is who he is.
We even offer to show you the proof.
But I know that the threat is real, but I cannot tell you why I know this. You see, if Orestrix were to give everyone all the arguments all the proof that you ask for, then everyone would know that. Then they would know that Orestrix knows, and we wouldn't have any more time to prepare for it. It needs to be kept secret, but at the same time, everyone needs to be convinced. It is a vicious circle.
And he has not told you then.
He has shown me. I've been there. I've seen the armies. I've seen one of the big lung dragons at least.
You've seen what he wanted to show you, Tandalin. Had you found this information perhaps without him, it would be more believable. But if I was an evil big dragon, I would show you whatever I needed to get you to do what I wanted. I know it's hard to understand what he has done to you, and that you have been made a pawn in all of this, but you don't need to have that happen anymore. Come talk to our people. They're good people, nice people. They will tell you of the horrors that Arastrix's orders have sent upon them, And perhaps you will begin then to believe that he is not as good as he would have you think.
Tenderland seems to be working up a response, moving his jaws without really any coherent sounds coming out. As from behind him, a different voice speaks. Clearly also a draconic voice. Saying, "Well, isn't this hilarious? This isn't going nowhere. Tenderlin, do remember our secondary objective here, yes? I am quite bored of this whole talk. They will not listen to you, so let's just make sure that they come with us, yes?" Tenderlin looks around at the sand, saying, No, they are not the rogue dragons we're looking for. Well...
We are not the dragons you're looking for.
Waves a claw.
Can Inox find out where that voice is coming from?
That particular voice seems to be coming somewhere from yourself. Onyvox is pretty sure that there's something under the sand there.
You look distraught. Tenderlin, you have brought someone to kill us.
Well,
We came here in good faith, and now I discover this betrayal. You've just been stalling, haven't you? You never intended to even speak to us to begin with.
Well, I did, but I did not
If we
expect...
were humans who had come here, you would have killed them immediately to take down the Moon Clan, Tenderlin.
I would not have. They are just here to protect me from creatures like you, who don't want to listen and ruin everything. I will say one more time, before I will have to look the other way, and... You should...
Tenderlin, could you look at me, so small, before you, and have someone else kill me without doing anything?
A groan sounds from under the sand.
I thought you wanted peace, Tenderlin, but I guess I was wrong about you.
I do want peace.
A single tear rolls down his cheek.
From south of Tenderlin, something burrows from below the sand, exposing itself. Looking at each of you,
Well,
saying, "Well, this is rather interesting, but this really isn't leading nowhere. Although I am quite curious to see, or to rather understand your side of the story."
Then come with us.
No. But you are behaving in a rather odd way. I mean, why are you here in the first place if you don't like what Orestrix and the Big Red are doing?
You heard all of my arguments. You must admit that there is truth to it.
I
But
must
perhaps
admit
you
that
don't care.
I must admit that they are at least plausible in a far-fetched and ridiculous manner. However, what if you are indeed saying the truth? Well, then, of course, opposing Orestrix would be the right thing to do. Now consider what if they are not the right thing. What if you are currently sabotaging, as Tenderlin suggests, the only way of not only opposing the potential forces from the east, whatever they might be, as well as also opposing the most definitely real plague that is currently affecting many, including my father, as it were.
You heard us. We have good information that shows that someone who, just after drinking something that Arestrix gave him, someone whom Arestrix would want out of the picture and never to find what he was looking for, he would prefer him to disappear, so to speak. And then he died from worm infestation.
The potions, as Tenderlin has said, were not made by him. They were a gift from a black. It does not seem
A convenient,
nearly as
convenient
far-fetched.
shield.
Convenient
You think
shield.
he's unable to make potions?
Certainly not. However, I do think that he is unable to act as you suggest. As powerful as you suggest he might be, it would be impossible for him to behave as diligently and, well, pursuing his own version of the righteous cause protecting dragonkind from unknown forces as he were, without giving himself away at some point. He has been watched rather closely, not only by dear naive Tandalin over here, but also by others.
I suppose then we are the proof that he did slip up. You just see it now and refuse to believe it. Because you were not the one to find it.
In addition to that, the one who has started this whole argument of yours, who has set you on the path of distrusting Orestrix, is someone who very much has a grudge against him.
Understandably so, would you not say? If they were to find the blue orb of dragonkind and enslave you, how would you like that?
Understandably so, yes, but it is rather convenient that he did manage to attract a group of dragons who now do everything that will perhaps inevitably either lead to him having a new master that he can potentially outsmart and kill, or perhaps even a group of dragons who are going to free him.
It is worth to note that the big and scary Fesekarak, the Red Doom, or whatever we want to call him, choose to let us go, choose to let us be free, and did not drag us before Sumta to be enslaved, or forced into servitude.
And
Because
The big red offers a freedom, while the gold offers only obedience and servitude and shackles.
Again, assumptions.
we did not believe him at first, but the proof, which we will be happy to share with you if you were to come with us, is quite substantial.
I'm sure it is, but I am not naive enough to follow you to your territory.
Then we are not naive enough to follow you to yours. We know what kind of slavery we put in.
I will let you know that my brother and I have joined Orestrix, perhaps not willingly, but have so far yet to see the slavery you suggest. It is true that Fesekarak employs a different kind of diplomacy when it comes to convincing those reluctant, and I think he would have a field day convincing you, although it appears he has already strayed from his commands. A worrying thought, considering that it does mean that there are ways for him to slip free, and apparently you are the way for him to slip free. Hence why he is setting you on this path.
Or perhaps he is simply the strongest other dragon after Restrix, and he's the one able to see through his guise.
Or perhaps, maybe, could have, should have.
Your arguments indeed do not seem very valid at this point. But I can forgive you for it.
She snorts. Let it be known that I am only talking to you because, well, I at least think that one of you has the potential to not be an idiot. On the other hand, we do have a thing to do here, because, as Tandalin was saying, yes, he was not alone in this. Yes, he assumed that the actual leaders of the Moon Clan would show up. And yes, he assumed that potentially the rogue dragons might catch wind of this meeting and try to silence him. Hence why my brother and I are here to bring you to Orestrix.
Tyraxos sets his feet in the sand and says, "You are welcome to try."
Oh, I would rather not engage in hostilities, as strange as that might sound, but
Then come with us.
no. We'll start combat. Your Shield of Faith has run out at this point.
Only Shield of Faith? Only Shield of Faith?
The mage armor will still be running. You haven't been talking for an hour.
He just said he didn't want to fight and now he's initiate combat?
Yeah, their asshole lies.